think that was the moment that it really started clicking for me. He's not going to ever treat me different. He has no value in me. He started throwing my stuff outside in the front yard where we lived. You know, grab the baby and spit in my face. And that was the clincher for me, because I remember thinking, you wouldn't even spit on a dog, but you spit on me.
Domestic abuse does not discriminate. It doesn't matter what your age, it doesn't matter what your race is, and it doesn't matter what your economic status is.
Domestic violence is more prevalent in our society than ever before. Over 1.5 million women fall victim to domestic violence each year. The cost of domestic violence tops $6 billion annually. So why hasn't there been more of a public outcry? Women need to be made aware of the programs available to them that can help save their lives before it's too late. We all need to play a role in breaking the cycle of domestic violence. And that in itself is the goal of Human Options.
Human Options is a wonderful organization that restores the hope and rebuilds lives and saves lives of women and children affected by domestic violence.
We started with a dream in 1979. I was directing an Orange County Department of Mental Health clinic in Laguna Beach, and we were educating our Mental Health Advisory Board about different social problems. And two members of the Mental Health Advisory Board and I became absolutely passionate about the issue of domestic violence.
It's never just about the man and the woman. It's about the children. It's about what happens within the community, within the home. It involves the neighbors, it involves the school, it involves your place of work.
As a community educator, we go out and speak to the community about domestic violence. We predominantly speak to high school students and college students about teen dating abuse, which is the precursor to domestic violence.
It's about saving lives. It's about saving the lives of women and their children, giving them a second chance, giving them a sense of optimism, and giving them hope that they can move forward as contributing members of our community.
We come at the subject from a therapeutic approach, and so we treat the whole person, whether that's the woman who comes into the shelter or the child, knowing that they need to heal before they can hear how to start improving their life and start rebuilding their life.
My life was really a mess. I was married at the time. I didn't realize just how bad things had gotten.
You always know when you love someone, don't you want to believe the best about them? Don't you want to really believe when they say, it'll never happen again, I love you so much, you're so important to me, this family is so important to me. Don't you want to believe that?
It just chipped away at my self-confidence in any and every way.
I was laying down on the bed and he just came up and he hit the pillow that I was laying on.
I've got to make it work. If I just do this or if I just do that, things have got to get better.
He was a stonemason by trade.
But he was under the impression that I had been with somebody else that I hadn't been with.
And he had picked up a piece of marble and told me that it needed to go through my head.
I thought that my eyeball had popped out because I couldn't see, but I had black eyes, so my eyes had swollen closed.
You know, you get to a point where you realize it does become a life or death situation.
I was very, very afraid.
Love is not fear. Love and fear cannot coexist.
If you treated him the way he treats you, he wouldn't stay for a minute. So why do you?
I knew that if he completely let go, I probably wouldn't get up.
When you can look in the eyes of someone you truly love and you can see that they could very easily kill you.
Is it going to take me carrying you out of this place in a body bag to get you to leave this man? Because he's going to hurt you and he's going to hurt your girls. What is it going to take for me to get you into a safe place? And that was the night I called Human Options.
Really what separates Human Options from other organizations that provide domestic violence services in Orange County is the sense of community. It's that a victim could come in at any point in their journey, whether it be immediately after a crisis situation, whether it be just when they're beginning to recognize the signs of a domestic violence relationship, and they can enter into any service we have.
I had been going and talking with the counselor at Human Options Support Group. And so I knew it was the first time that I knew I had an option, that I knew there was some place that I could go. And I called the 800 number, and the police stayed there with me. I packed up as much as I could out of that apartment for myself and the girls for clothes, and walked out the door and went to the shelter.
We will get a phone call. We'll determine whether they're safe or not right this minute. We really want to make sure they're safe this minute.
Get the mom safe. Get the kids safe. If we can heal mom, she'll bring the kids along.
You know, just to have a place that I knew that I could live for the next year, to figure things out, and that, you know, they had counseling, and they had counseling for the kids, and I knew they had some, you know, help for legal things, and, you know, it really, and especially after being in the emergency shelter, you know, I really did learn a lot.
You're given a room with your kids, and there's a communal dining room and living room, and you get to know these women that are with you, that live with you, and you get to see each other grow.
And I walked in, and for the very first time, I realized that I wasn't alone. I realized that I wasn't crazy, and that we were all married to the same man.
It's such a secret world. You know, I never told my friends, ever, but I thought they knew, and they were shocked. And so to hear other women just, that's what really gave me a lot of the strength, was to know that it really was bigger than me. It wasn't me. I wasn't doing something wrong.
I know Human Options works because I'm here today. I'm alive. I'm thriving.
The programs that they offer, the groups that they offer, the education that they offer, you can turn your life around.
We see that the people who have gone through our shelter don't get back into unhealthy relationships.
We see the second generation, kids who were in the shelter maybe when they were 12 or 14 who are now going to college.
My oldest son's 24 years old, and I have a 16-year-old, and I have a 12-year-old, and, you know, I'm so proud to, you know, be in their lives, and I'm proud of who they are and the love that we share as a family. And I know by the change I made will affect generations after me.
You know, we do long-term research, and we see the changes. We know that many of the women that leave our emergency shelter and transitional housing program are violence-free 1 year or more after they leave. Beyond that, I think it's also the changes we see in the children, the changes that we see in terms of they do not repeat the cycles. They stay away from violence. When they do come back, they come back as volunteers. Their stories are very different than what they could have been.
I'm a legal secretary, went to college, and my life is great. And honestly, my life would not be this great without Human Options.
Human Options does change lives. Every time you listen to someone who's been through the program speak and talk about where they were before, where they are now, and how much they attribute to Human Options, I can't go to an event without leaving in tears.
I don't know where I would have ended up other than I probably wouldn't be alive right now if it wasn't for Human Options.
Since 1981, Human Options has been helping women overcome the effects of domestic abuse in Southern California. For over 30 years, they have provided safe haven for nearly 6,000 women and children. They provide transitional housing, case management, and counseling services that are second to none. The emergency hotline has answered the calls of over 50,000 women. Through community education programs, Human Options has reached over 250,000 students and other members of the community. This is a proven organization that offers hope to those without hope and change to those who need it. Over 90% of women that graduate from Human Options break the cycle and remain violence-free. Not only do they improve their own quality of life, but they also ensure the safety and provide a healthy future for their children. It is our responsibility to help break the cycle of domestic violence. Together, we can save families.
Human Options is fundamentally one of the most sound nonprofits in our community. The work that the staff has done, the board has done to make sure that this is an agency that can move forward and serve its demographic for years to come is clearly in place.
You know, we all want to make the world a better place than we came into. And with Human Options and doing the work that we do with women, children, men, teenagers, everybody, we do make the world a better place. We do change the human experience.
I encourage people, you know, even if you don't spend time at the shelter, you don't work on the hotline, or you don't have a check to write, you know, donate soap, donate crayons, donate, you know, your clothes.
They rebuild lives. They take women and they give them the strength and the power to go out and become productive members of society who can thus come back and contribute to this great organization.
Human Options is an agency that has literally changed my life. And I'm not a person who actually went through the programs. I'm a person who worked on the backside, and it still changed my life.
I work at Human Options, and for me, a lot of times I think about it, it's like a labor of love. I have a great passion for what they do. And I work for Human Options because Human Options is what changed my life.
I went from being a victim to a survivor and then a thriver.
You know, I am confident today. I am really happy. You know, the joy I missed as a child, you know, I get to have today. It's never too late.
This is an issue of the heart. This is an issue that matters when it comes to human dignity. No individual should bully, strike, or threaten another human being. And Human Options addresses that very important issue in our society head on. It is the kind of organization that needs to be lifted and supported to make Orange County a better place to live.
For more information, visit humanoptions.org.